Hello there, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, here is the new and much improved video for the cream cheese frosting that I make. I've gotten a lot of comments from my previous video that the background music was too loud, so I just decided to create a completely new video. This video is a bit longer than the first one, but if you follow the entire video, watch the entire video, and follow all the instructions, I can assure you that you will have a foolproof cream cheese frosting for your cakes and cupcakes. So let's get started. And again, this is a 2-recipe video starting with a Swiss meringue buttercream. We're going to need 12 egg whites, 12 large egg whites. I like to separate the egg whites and the egg yolks one at a time to avoid any shells. And I added 1.5 cups of white sugar into the egg whites. And we're going to place the mixing bowl with the egg white and sugar mixture on a double boiler. I have here a pot with a little bit of water, and once the water is boiling, just place the mixing bowl on it. Make sure that the water doesn't touch the mixing bowl, and just keep stirring the mixture gently, just like so. And if you would notice, there's still the consistency of this mixture is quite thick, and you would see some clumps of it at the tip of the wire whisk attachment. This is one way to determine if it's ready to be measured by temperature. Right now it's already a little bit runnier in consistency, and if I lift the wire whisk attachment from the mixture, it shouldn't have a clump of the mixture attaching to it anymore. By this time it should be ready to be checked for temperature. I'm using a candy thermometer. I would really recommend using a candy thermometer to be accurate. And once it has reached 140 degrees Fahrenheit, you can now remove the mixture or the mixing bowl from the double boiler. Next, we're going to place it in the mixer now, and we're just going to turn on our mixer at about between low to medium speed. This is the actual speed of the mixer, and just let it run for about 3 to 4 minutes at that speed. It will help cool down the mixture because you don't want to put your butter while it is still hot. It should come down to about room temperature, and it should appear more frothy and white in color, just like what you see in the video right now. And at this point, you can now speed up your mixture, and you can speed it up to medium high speed, not like the full speed of the mixer. And it should double in size, and it should become more fluffier, just like what you see in the video right now. That should come up to a stiff peak consistency of the meringue, and you can just let it whip for a little bit more before we start adding the next ingredient. We have here 3 cups of unsalted softened butter. This is at room temperature. If you press your fingers down onto the butter, it should leave an indentation. And I cut them up into cubes so that it would be easier to put in the mixture of the meringue. I started my mixture at the low speed. This will allow the butter to be incorporated and to be broken down so that you don't see clumps of butter in your end result. So just keep doing that. Add the butter cube one at a time, maybe between 2 to 3 seconds at a time. And just keep doing so until you've added all your butter. I just sped up the video here. And as you keep adding your butter, you're going to notice that the mixture will become curdled or even runny at some point, and that's normal. That's how it's supposed to go, but that's fine. It's totally normal. Like I said, you just keep adding the rest of your butter and just keep mixing it. And after adding the last cube of butter, I'll just keep mixing it for a couple more minutes. Don't forget to scrape down the mixture that's on the side of the bowl, put it back on the mixer, and put it at the highest speed. Keep running your mixer at this speed for another 3 to 4 minutes. As you can see, the mixture is already starting to come together. It's becoming more fluffy, and it's becoming more of a silky texture. After 3 to 4 minutes at high speed, you can now stop your mixer and just scrape the bowl using your spatula. Mix your buttercream a few times, fold it together just to make sure that everything is mixed properly. And at this point, I would now replace my wire whisk attachment with a paddle attachment and put it on medium speed for at least 5 minutes, depending on how silky you want it. But the longer you leave it mixing in the mixer with a paddle attachment, the smoother that it will get. In the meantime, we're going to prepare our cream cheese. I have here a standard bar of cream cheese. It is Philadelphia that I'm using, and I cut it up into smaller pieces. It is at room temperature. Make sure that it is at room temperature, and you cut it up into smaller pieces so that it's easier to mix. I put it in a different mixing bowl, used a paddle attachment, and mix it at the very, very low speed for about 5 seconds at a time. And I did this about 3 times, and I just let it mix until it reaches a spreadable consistency. Basically how it would be if you're going to spread it onto your bagel or your bread. Scrape down your bowl and your paddle attachment, and let's go back to our Swiss meringue buttercream. Mine's been running for about 10 minutes actually, and it's much better. It's much smoother and silkier. And at this point, this is actually already ready for you to use in your cakes. That's your Swiss meringue buttercream. That's the first recipe in this video. If you notice, it should have this very, very silky and smooth texture. I just wanted to mix it with my spatula, fold it together, and just press it down a little bit to remove a little bit of the air pockets, and it should be ready to be mixed with our cream cheese. Depending on how intense you want the cream cheese taste to be, you can add anywhere from 4 to 5 cups of the Swiss meringue buttercream to the cream cheese. I added 5 cups here in this recipe because I don't really like a very intense cream cheese taste. So you can add 4 if you want the cream cheese to be more prominent, and just fold them together. Mix them gently using your spatula, just pressing down on the mixture as well to make sure that the cream cheese is not too disturbed and not overbeaten. You can actually stop at this point and you can now use this cream cheese frosting. But I like to put it back in the mixer, put the paddle attachment, and mix it for another 15 to 20 seconds at the very, very low speed. No more than 20 seconds because like I said earlier, you don't want to overbeat your cream cheese. And if you're using a hand mixer, I would recommend that you use it at the lowest speed and no more than 10 seconds. This cream cheese frosting is now ready to use. I was putting it in a piping bag to frost some carrot cupcakes that I made. And I'm also using a new piping tip that I got. It's a bigger, an extra large nozzle that I wanted to try out. But as you can see, it holds its shape. It pipes very, very well. And that's not very common for just regular cream cheese frosting that you do the traditional way. And although my method for creating this cream cheese frosting takes a little bit longer than the traditional way, I still prefer to do it this way because it doesn't require or use powdered sugar, which tends to make cream cheese frosting a bit sweeter and a little bit more grainy. And the powdered sugar, I've noticed, also makes the frosting softer, which doesn't allow the frosting to hold its shape, especially in warmer weather or in warmer places. So there you have it. Thank you again for watching and for supporting my channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please comment and like this video and support my channel for more cake decorating videos. Thank you.